What's happening, people? My name is Swazi and welcome to the Future of Britain 2023. This year, we're partnering up with My Life, My Say. This is going to be a very exciting day with lots happening. So let's go and find out what the people are saying.
So today, it's really about having a plan of action that we can move forward to as a country, but really thinking through what are the practical solutions.
It's great as young people to be able to start the day off and get kind of change makers speaking in a way and thinking in a way that they might not have originally.
And in terms of technology then, how does technology play its role in all of the different businesses and how does that fit into the wider conversation as well?
For business, it's a huge opportunity, but we've also got to make sure we're sort of putting in the safeguards, the handrails.
Where are we in terms of education and AI at the same time?
AI had a place, you could use recommendations for the next thing to watch, but now generative AI, I think, especially with GPT-4 and that next generation, the last year has accelerated things by at least 20 years.
The leading research in artificial intelligence outside the United States and China is in England.
Science and technology is absolutely central. It's moving at pace. It's an enabler of the future of Britain, and we need to recognise that, harness that.
Well, we've got to talk about the future of food here in Britain. Where is it going and where does it look like now?
The food landscape, the environment is dominated by food that's making us sick, and that's because companies make more money selling us that food, and unless we do something about that, the NHS is going to collapse and we're going to become less productive.
We're treating the future not as such a distant concept, but we are seeing that we need to make change urgently.
So there are some challenges. Have we got the right technology? Have we got the right people? But if we work together collaboratively, and I'm hearing that everywhere, this might be the solution.
We have a government advisory capability because the need exists.
Even though we're a not-for-profit with a public purpose, the spirit we want is entrepreneurial.
We have a really diverse staff. I think it's 52 nationalities across about 600 staff.
So we advise them on how they actually implement their reform programs in order to get the change that they want in their country.
We advise government around the world on strategy, policy, and delivery, and we see technology as the key enabler across all three.
The people that come to work for TBI tend to be people who are obviously committed.
Everybody brings something to this party, all sorts of different experiences, different backgrounds. People have worked in the private sector, they've worked in government, they've worked in policy.
You don't come here unless you've got a sense of public purpose, public service.
I think governments all around the world face very similar problems.
The biggest challenge for countries is for their governments to take the right decisions on policy and then to implement those decisions.
We've been doing this for years. We're in dozens of countries. We have hundreds of people. And fundamentally, leaders that are trying to make their country a better place, particularly political leaders, those with the authority to make decisions for their country, there's no playbook oftentimes about how you do that successfully.
It's hard, right? If you consider the politics that you have to also navigate, as well as some of these technical and financial challenges, that's really significant. And we exist because a number of organizations do help governments on those things I mentioned, the economy, education, health, but they tend to shy away from the politics.
We will work with the government to establish their key priorities, because if governments try to do everything, they end up doing nothing, so you've got to prioritize. Get the right policies, the ones that are really going to work, in order to implement the changes the government wants.
If you go into a government that we work with, you'll find TBI people, TBI staff, in the centre of government, whether that's the President's office or the Prime Minister's office. So we're really embedded in those governments, and what we do and how we help is providing expertise as well as hands-on support.
We also believe that technology is a big enabler of how you drive change in the modern world. I mean, the world is changing extremely fast, so we see part of our role is to help governments keep up with the pace of that change.
Because how can you possibly understand what strategy you need for your country without modern data and analytics that you can run against that data? How can you possibly identify solutions to things like climate change unless technology is brought to bear? And how can you possibly achieve high quality, lowest possible cost delivery unless you're using the best technology solutions that you have?
We encourage the people who come to work here also to have a spirit of endeavour, can do. I always say to people, we're not a government department, we're not an NGO, we're not a think tank.
Eventually some people leave this institute. We get to then help make further impact in the world by what they do when they leave the Institute. And we see that as part of our mission as well, as we help train leaders who can then make the world and their own countries a better place because they spent time here at the Blair Institute.
People who are prepared to take an initiative and people who get the greatest pleasure, not from talking about things, but doing things.
The one thing I think that unites all of us at TBI is we all want to make real and lasting change and have an impact, and ultimately to make people's lives better.